Are we on?
Yeah, we're on camera now.
Okay. Some of the things that transpired here. Well, first of all, a lot of magicians worked here at the beginning when they started. David Acker worked here. Richard Sanders worked here. Ted Outerbridge worked here. Spidey worked here. Barry Julian, who is now a production manager for Stephen Colbert, worked here. And they all of the ones who worked here have become very well known and in the trade. And they all say, when they're interviewed, they all say, "Oh, if it wasn't for Perfect Magic, I wouldn't be here." So it's that's quite a history. But David Acker's favorite story, I'll give it to you also. This was very early, probably around 1980, 1981. He was in the store when a fellow called. He told me he was the warden at St. Vincent de Paul. You paying attention? He says, "I have a client who is interested in some of your material. Can you tell me about it?" I said, "Sure." He says, "Well, what he's looking for is a set of 8 books by John Novak called The Art of Escape. This is from the prison, Art of Escape." I said, "Oh, is this some kind of a joke?" He says, "No. He says, "You give me the prices and give me whatever it is," and he says, "then I'll get back to you." So what can I lose? I gave the prices. Sure enough, I got an order in the mail with a certified check for the 8 books to be delivered to St. Vincent de Paul. Whatever happened after that, I don't know, but it was one of the first things that we had. And another funny incident we had here, one of the conventions, we had 19 conventions in Montreal. Our customers always asking us for lock picks, to pick locks. And we hesitated. We didn't really want to sell that kind of stuff. But I checked up and find out, hey, you don't have to have a license to sell it. You can sell them. So we were in Florida one year, and Paul Diamond told me where you get lockpicks. So I went there. We brought back a bunch of lockpicks, and we sold a few. And one year at the convention, Paul Diamond was a dealer at the convention. And he was selling lockpicks at the convention. Somebody, I don't know who got up, but one of the kids he sold a lockpick to, at 3 o'clock in the morning was trying to pick the lock of the dealer's room door to get into the dealer's room. We have a lot of stuff like that. My late friend, Father Cyprian, he was a very good friend of ours and a very good friend of mine. And every time I think about him, I almost start to cry. He had invited us originally to his 25th anniversary of his ordination into the priesthood. And 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I forget how long, maybe 3 years ago, he calls, he says, "You're at the 25th, are you coming to the 50th? I said, "I'll be there." And we went, it was in Stamford, Connecticut. And we went to, it was wonderful to see him and everything else like that. Some people did a few tricks. I made a little speech and I told him, I said, "Father Cyprian, in 25 years I'll be 102. And if you invite me to come to your 75th, I will be there." He laughed. Unfortunately, 6 months later he died. But after the party we had, there was a few people left, like Mike Douglas and his wife, who's a past president, and he's the chaplain for the SAM, was there. Paul Critelli, who's the contest chairman for the SAM, was there. George Dina Schindler, George is the dean of American Society, and we found a bar in a hotel, and we sat around and we started to talk. Now you have, I don't know, 200 years of history of people. 200 years between us in the magic business, and we were had such a great time, Everybody had a story. We took turns telling our stories, and nobody ran out of stories either. Until there was a piano there too. So I asked the bartender, I said, is the piano open? Can I play it? She says, go ahead. So I sat down, I played for about 15 or 20 minutes. I got up, bartender comes over and she says to me, she says, that was wonderful. The next thing you know, there's free beer for everybody. There's chips and chocolate bars and everything else. It was such a wonderful evening, you know, but we reminisce. I don't go to magic conventions anymore, except Toronto. I go to my friends at the Bash in Toronto, one-day convention, only because he's a friend. And but I go to meet people. I don't go to learn magic or anything like that. I go to meet people that I haven't seen in a long time. Last April, it was Eugene Berger. And he saw me, he says, it's got to be 30 years. I said, yeah, pretty close to that. You know, and we sat down, we had a talk. And we had a great time. Until 2 months later, because we didn't get yesterday.
Okay.
He had died. But, you know, for those reasons, I go to the conventions. That's 2 reasons. Michael Lamar was there too. The year before was David Williamson. And, you know, and I see the people that we used to be around, because he gets these people.
Okay.
So, you know, at this stage of the game, it's now history. And at 80 years old, I'm not inclined to travel too much anymore.